There was a time that I was putting my clothes away in the bedroom, and we weren't arguing. We weren't anything. And I had my back to him. And he came up behind me and he put his hand on the bottom of my back. And he whispered in my ear, "If you be quiet, I promise you this will be over really quickly." And he put a pillow over my face and he walked me backwards onto our bed and he smothered me with a pillow. I was separated, and it was a couple of months after that I went on Bumble for the first time, and that's when I first met my ex-partner now. He was tall, dark and handsome, and he wanted to be all in, which is my nature. So we wanted to live together quickly, we wanted to combine our lives together quickly. He wanted to be around me all the time. He was very attentive, he would call me all the time, or he would show up to my work with flowers, and he was just everything that I thought that I wanted in a man. He absolutely love bombed me. Yeah. It took 7 days for him to tell me that he loved me for the first time. There was a lot of coercive control. So there was a lot of emotional abuse, controlling where I was. He wanted to see my location all the time. I had to take photos of my desk at work to prove that I was there. He would show up to my work randomly and ask me to come downstairs. He was emotionally abusive. So he told me that I was overweight and that I needed to lose weight. And then when we moved into the city, that's when the physical abuse got really bad, really bad. He choked me unconscious. We were arguing and he picked me up off the ground. The last thing I remember is being put onto the bed, and then I woke up and he was on top of me screaming not to tell anyone. The last time that he got me was the worst. We were staying in a hotel and I just found a receipt in his wallet for $1,500 worth of lingerie. And it wasn't for me. So I threw his wallet at him and that was it. He threw me on the bed and hit me in the face. And then I was on a ball on the ground and he took his belt off and he started whipping me. And I was just screaming that I was like, "I love you. Like, please stop doing this to me. I love you so much." And I knew I didn't, but I knew that's all I could say to get out of there. And I could just picture myself in a box and my son walking down the aisles at my funeral. And it was because of that beating that I was finally able to go to the police, because my dad saw me. I couldn't hide. I had a black eye and a split lip and my shoulders were black. And I saw my dad, and exactly what I thought would happen happened. He said, "We're going to the police station right now. I've had enough."
We make sure that the patient is at the centre of the care that we provide. So we make sure that we don't add to any stress or make the whole experience more harmful for them. So we would examine about 600 victims of sexual assault per year. across the state, and perhaps another couple of hundred victims of other forms of interpersonal violence. So if a person has said that their hair's been pulled, we might be able to look for signs of little subtle bleeding around the hair follicles. If a person says that they have also been punched or they might have been bitten, then we would also look for signs of those injuries. There absolutely is value to having a forensic record of what happened to support an investigation.
One of the major clinical problems is neck compression, because there's often not much visible on the outside. There may be some minor bruising or some finger marks, but often not a lot, and so it's very hard to corroborate that event has occurred. And so one of the ways of doing that is, instead of just looking on the skin, we actually want to look inside the body. This is not only for deceased persons, which we would normally use this for at our institute here, but we have a forensic medical department here as well, so that we can also use the MRI scanner on living persons as well who have had injury, for example, where we want to try and document that injury. Police are very good at getting the story and interviewing people and so forth, but they're not medical people. They don't have the capacity to do the examination. So they would then refer the potential victim to a forensic medical facility, which we have here, and there are forensic physicians, doctors, who specialise in interpreting injury patterns. So Stacey, I'll show you some of the pictures that we can produce on MRI. Yep. And so this is actually the major area that we're looking for. If you saw a doctor, for example, at the hospital you went to, they would have examined your neck, but they only see what's on the outside. They can't see on the inside. And you can see where these circles are here in arrows, where that white stuff is. That's an indication of swelling and bleeding occurring in those tissues that I was saying to you before. And that's a very powerful indicator that a significant force has been applied to the neck.
I want people to know who he is. And I want people to know who I am. I want people to know that I'm not laying down and letting him win ever again. He's in prison where he should be. And I want to make sure that people know who I am and what he did.
What would you say to other women experiencing the same kind of thing?